Hey everyone, I'm Katie from Addicted to DIY, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a lap desk using a live edge slab. I purchased a slab of pine from a local mill that was just the right size. It was about 14 inches wide and 36 inches long, which they cut down for me to be about 28 inches long. This slab was pretty free of bark, save for one corner, which I chiseled away pretty easily. Next comes a lot of sanding. I started with an 80 grit sanding disc on my orbital sander to smooth out all the rough edges on the top, bottom, and sides. This slab had a little bit of a twist in it, so I sanded down the high edges to flatten it out a bit. I used my drum sander for the most part, however I know this isn't something everyone has access to, so a belt sander is a great alternative. It will take a good amount of sanding to get the twist out, and a hand planer would be perfect to help with this if you have one. The finished slab still had a little bit of wobble in it, but it's going on an uneven surface as it is, so I wasn't too worried about it being perfect. I finished it off with 220 grit sandpaper to smooth it out, as well as softening up the edges and corners just a bit. For the legs, I decided that 8 inches would be a good height and found some 8-inch hairpin legs on Amazon. I'll link to those in the description below. Given that it's a live edge slab, placing the legs was a little tricky. The mill had cut off a few inches to give me the length I wanted, so I used that straight edge as a guide for squaring up the first 2 legs. I drilled some pilot holes and attached the legs on that end with the accompanying screws. Once the first 2 legs were installed, I used those as my guide to line up the remaining 2 legs, then drilled pilot holes and attached them. With all of the legs attached, I added the remaining screws to each of the legs. I got the majority of the dust off of the slab with my air compressor, then wiped it all down with a clean cloth. I wanted to keep the natural look of the wood, so I used walrus oil furniture finish. I haven't ever used this before, but I've heard great things and I really love how it made the grain and character of the wood stand out. I'll also link to it in the description below. I let the finish dry overnight, then my lap desk, or besk, was ready. If you're looking for a quick and easy project to get your feet wet in furniture building, this is definitely a great one to start with. It uses pretty minimal tools and you can complete it in just a few hours. I'm already loving mine and I'm definitely thinking it's going to get a lot of use.